technology, not sellers of registration. So if you can know more about a bigger thing, for instance, if you can sell an entire region rather than just yours, or if you can bring people together, it's better than just trying to hammer on one thing. We're talking about the lost art of handwritten notes and other forms of personalization, and how important that has to be. Or, sending a postcard, doing something to make yourself stand out, from the crowd. Everybody does things sort of the same way. If you can not do everything the same way, it's better. But it's all about, it really is all about building relationships, and we learned that in Sales 101. It's a relationship business. You have to build them. So we're trying to find more and better ways to do that. We talked a question about marketing angles. Talking about email blasts. That's one. Some of the old things don't work so well. Email is on everybody's computer. They use it every 6 weeks to 3 months and make sure something goes out. But not just something. It doesn't need to be well branded. It needs to be well crafted. It needs to be customized. It needs to be different. It needs to be fun. And we talked specifically about some technology around that, and a system that a couple of us at the table have used, a program called Animoto, in order to create short videos from just graphics and maybe video clips, pictures that you have on file anyway. Put them into Animoto with some music in the background. They have royalty-free music that you can select, and in a matter of a few minutes, have a very professional looking, and yet probably free or next to it, video product that can be posted to YouTube or sent out as a link. You do something like that, that sort of meets the criteria of fun, different, and customized. Talked about overcoming sort of the AIG effect as one of our question areas. And what do you do when you can't have a meeting because of the appearance of the meeting? We didn't think that, we sort of decided at our table that we're kind of over that the media cycle is now hooked on Toyota. They don't really care if we have meetings at our hotels and if the hotel happens to be a resort. But we do think that it did change some perspectives. But we're really, and business is not business as usual. It is different, but we sort of said it's over that. But we did create some discussions about a couple of things. One is it happened and we weren't ready for it. The industry itself didn't respond very well when all of a sudden we were the center of media attention. And so, we did change that. We're making efforts to change that. For instance, it was brought up that we went basically from, as an industry, 0 lobbyists to the travel industry, having half a dozen. So we're doing things to have a voice at the table in Washington and at the state capitals. And the next time something like this rolls around, hopefully we will be a little bit more ready for it. But we talked about, just in general, sort of more marketing, but you need to change your message to meet the needs of the client. So if your client really is in the public eye because of sort of the AIG effect, that you can do things to make it palatable to meet in your resort, your property, in your city. We need to pay attention to what's going on. Don't get caught by surprise again. Let's not let that happen again. Markets changed as a result of all this. They will change again. We have to recognize that and not sit back and be complacent. We need to be kind to everyone. Be nice to everybody because you never know, what's going to happen. You never know who you're going to meet on the way down. And you have to know, what you want. You have to know what you, as a region, a CVB, a town, a hotel, a company, what you want. Are you after rate? Are you going to make big changes? Or are you going to, wait for everything to ride out? Well, if what you're after is high rates right now, you might be having a bad time. So is it rate you want? Is it occupancy you want? What is it you really want? Because you're not necessarily going to be able to have it all. And know your competitive set. We also talked about, briefly, a little bit about how the AIG affected meetings in general, as in face-to-face versus webcasting. So if you can't travel to a meeting, if that looks bad, maybe you do things, on the web. And at our table, we sort of said, well, webcasting is fine, and it's got its place. A good professional knows when to do it online and when to get people on airplanes and get together. But we also had sort of agreement that webcast meetings are not the most effective way to get information across. They're okay, they've got their place, but they're not going to replace face-to-face meetings. Never, ever. There's too much need for us to get together. And also that there are, we're still trying to figure out what a good webcast is. Most of them are just, talking heads with a slideshow, but the talking head can't make eye contact, cannot, have any kind of relationship with the people in the room. It's just, talking head. So if you're a bad speaker, in person, you're going to be a horrible speaker, on the web. So you've got to be able to do a better job. And professional meeting people, know how to do that or should know how to do that. Second to the last question, keeping staff motivated and growing in an economy like this, boiled down to just a few basic things. Make sure we treat everybody with respect, that we're all on the same team, that we're in it together, that there's no one person better than another, and that if you have the same goals and everybody is utilizing each other's talents, that you will stay motivated. You need input from everybody. You can't just sit up in your ivory tower and make decisions. So that was the main thing, is just get down, roll up your sleeves, and put it to the test. And our last question was dealing with outlooks for 2010, 2011, and how things look to us. We're seeing increases in RFPs. We're seeing increases in new business coming in. We're still seeing some holding out. Well, I'm not going to respond to the RFP because I want better, and we're going to see what happens with those. But that 2010, 2011, the economy is going to remain a little soft, but an improvement over 2009. And we sort of had general agreement around the table on that. We know that it's never going to be 2007 again. We can sort of accept that as fact. And keep going. The new normal really is going to be short-term bookings and scrambling and doing things a little bit different, but that we think that the next couple of years are going to look better. So that was it.
Thank you.